Hey peeps, welcome back to another video. So, I think I may have made an error buying this Alpina. So if you watched the intro on it, I showed you the car, said to you that it has some niggles, some pretty serious ones, and I also said that it hadn't been on the road for 9 years. So usually buying a car that's been sat around for that long is not a great idea, but this thing is really testing me, putting up a fight, and I just don't know where to go with it. It's becoming a bit of a pain in the butt really. So since you last saw it, I need to put the intake manifold back on. That's no big deal. I've got the manifold powder coated in the boots, that's sorted. I have managed to swap the glass sunroof, which is great. There's still a load of this old tape on the top that needs to come off, and unfortunately, because it's been sat outside taped up, some of the paint blistered under the sellotape or whatever it was. So that's a bit annoying, but no big deal. I also sourced the bonnet. It's not mint, but it's in what I think is the right colour, or Titan silver as the car should be. It looks a pretty good match. The wings look a bit dull, so they probably need a polish, but yeah, that's good. Bit of paint chipped off in the corner, but the real issue is this bloody electrical gremlin that I just cannot seem to get to the bottom of. So electrics aren't really my strong point. I'm not an auto electrician. I can do a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's not my forte. But basically what's going on is the indicators are playing up. So when the indicator stalk is in its like off position, the passenger indicators flash as soon as you put the ignition on. If you move the indicator stalk down to indicate left or up to indicate right, all the indicators stop completely. The hazards work fine, but I think the hazards on these work through like a hazard relay, whereas the lights or the indicator, sorry, they obviously work through the body control module. So luckily the 540 I've got shares the same body control module, same, I think it's light control module 3. So I know that works. So I swapped that from the E39. It hasn't made any difference. So then in my infinite wisdom, I thought, right, okay, let's try the stalk. So I had some spare stalks off another car. I think they come off, there were some spares I got with the 540, made no difference. So I'm guessing it's a CAN-bus issue. And obviously those of you who know E39s know these cars run CAN-bus, and CAN-bus, to my brain, I don't understand. I don't understand why the car talks, everything talks to one another. It just seems completely stupid. So I'm kind of running out of ideas. I don't know what to do with the car. Obviously I've chipped away at bits and pieces, sourced the bonnet, sourced the sunroof, which is good. I have some normal mirrors as well to go on it, and I've sourced the correct alloys. So I've sourced a heap of parts, which worked out pretty nicely. Sometimes some of this stuff is quite hard to come by. It was all fairly easy to source, to be honest. But I'm now thinking, well, what do I do with this car? Because I don't want to be chasing electrical gremlins for, and no, it just makes no sense to keep trying to fix things or spend time on the car if there's a huge underlying issue that would prevent me from getting the car on the road, using the car. And also, to top it off, the car hasn't been on the road for 9 years. So there's going to be a multitude of things that are going to need addressing, even once the car's technically running, driving, and MOT worthy, or just about worthy. So yeah, I'm in a sort of catch-22. I bought the car originally to take the engine for my E36, but then I got the car back and it was pretty clean and tidy, and figured it would be worth saving. And it's an Alpina, but now I just don't know. I don't know where to go with it. And one idea I have had is that to salvage this car, well, to put this car on the road, I'd probably have to get rid of my E38, because my E38 and this are very similar cars. But having driven my E38 a heap ton, it's a car that's virtually worthless because it's Cat N. It's got, quite a bit of rot in the doors and arches. It's not a particularly good car. The paint's pretty bad, but I love the car and it's so reliable. Like even this week, I went to Grimsby in it, 500 miles, didn't skip a beat. Usual E38 stuff, it just eats the miles up and it's glorious to drive. Since my partner, she's got a 525D with a steering rack, SE suspension, and as much as that's a nice car, that compared to my E38, even on the 20-inch Alpinas and ultra low BCs, the The E38, I would say, is still more comfortable and a better all-round car, purely in terms of like drivability and comfort. Like the 525D is not uncomfortable by any stretch, but you get a lot more feel of the road, like in a negative way, I think, on the 6-cylinder cars, because our roads are so bad, or maybe just the roads where I live are bad. But yeah, I'm kind of worried about going back to this and not really liking the steering feel, because if you've got a luxury car, you want it to be a luxury car. So I don't know, I mean, that sort of goes against the grain. Most people prefer the fact it's got a steering rack because it's a bit more direct. But honestly, my E38 with the BCs on it and the setup that's on it, it feels dialed. It's all the car you'd ever need for a cruiser, and it just feels gangster. So one idea I had was, rather than pull this engine out and put it in my 36, which I'm not that bothered about, I pull this engine out and I put it in the E38, and I make the Alpina that BMW never made. Because they did make a V12 E38, but that's just ridiculous, like running costs, the cost of the car, all that kind of stuff. So I already have the E38, I already have the wheels, the 20-inch Alpinas. I potentially have what they would have put in an E38 if they made like an Alpina E38, like that wasn't a V12. Really, what else you need? Yeah, there's all bits and pieces you could add, like the side stripes and the, I don't know, the front lip. You can get them pretty cheap, you can get replicas of them. So I could take the engine out of this, sell this on complete, like less the engine, and let someone else take it on and restore it or do whatever they want to do with it, or break it. Break it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would be a shame because the shell's relatively good. And then yeah, put the engine into my E38, and then I've got another 100 horsepower, and maybe later down the line we could turbo that, or manual swap and turbo that, or something like that, because it would still be pretty cool to have a big boost barge. I just don't know if I've got massive love for this car. It's already putting up a huge fight. I know that it still needs a little bit of work, but the electrical gremlin is testing my patience. So yeah, I'm struggling. Give me your input. Let me know what you think, because it's obviously a cool car. It's not like it can't be fixed. The electrical gremlin can be sorted, all electrics can be fixed. It's just the time, the enthusiasm, and the will to find it is diminishing by the day, because I've already spent a fair bit of time going through, testing things, sourcing bits, you know, checking stuff. I've checked simple stuff, like I've cleaned all the earths in the engine bay. I've pulled out all the bulbs in the rear and checked that there's no dodgy bulbs or stuff like that. I can't see that there's any LEDs being used in the car where there shouldn't be. Yeah, so please, if you've got any suggestions, or even if you want to help, if you've got experience with canvas on these cars, or you think, yeah, I've had that before, then do let me know. As I say, I've tested the light control module, I've checked or tested the stalk with another known good one, and the issue hasn't gone away. So yeah, help me out, YouTube. I'll give you an update on some of the other bits where I'm at too on the car. So the fuel system, although the car runs, both the level senders are rusty as hell, so the fuel level readings doesn't really work. I'll just get in the back here. So I've had both of the fuel sensors or senders out, and they both are corroded to buggery. This one's already been repaired. There's someone used speaker wire to fix the sender, so it needs, the fuel pump works, but both the senders are dead because it doesn't read any fuel reading, so it needs new senders put in both sides. They're not too hard to find for these because they're not Alpina specific, they're just petrol E39, so that's not the end of the world. So new sunroof's in there, headline all refitted. That was fun for my own, but it's done. So into the boot, this looks pretty good. So in there is the lovely Alpina intake manifold. Put this down somewhere so you can see it. There we go. So I've had that blasted because it was really corroded, and then painted like in a semi-gloss black. Ideally you want to wire not wire wool, but sand these letters so that they're silver, I guess, and then paint over them with a bit of lacquer. But yeah, that's not really a problem for now. It needs a good blast through because there might be a bit of sand and crap in there from the powder coating. But yeah, that looks pretty good, so stoked with that. But yeah, it's this bloody electrical gremlin that is proving to be testing my patience. So if you want to help, or if you have any suggestions, then please do let me know. As much as this car doesn't, I'm not like attached to this car per se, because I haven't actually driven, well, I've driven it around the yard, but I haven't actually driven it. I've never driven a genuine Alpina, not that I can remember, like from E39 era, and it's probably the closest I'd get to buying a genuine E38 Alpina. I know they're quite different cars, but yeah, it would be cool to drive it and see what it's about. But it just feels like a bit of a lost cause with this bloody electrical gremlin. So yeah, let me know what you think. It's a bit of a random video, this one, not particularly long or in depth, but it's sort of a plea for help. Someone talk some sense into me. Do you think it's a good idea to break it and take the engine for my E38? Do you think I should persist, or should I don't know, pay someone to come find out what's wrong with the electrics? Off camera, I'm probably going to dig in and pull some fuses out and see if I can get something to trigger the or stop the problem from happening. And also I am going to plug it into IMPA in a minute and just see if there's any faults with the modules, see if anything throws up. So I might tag that on the back of this video. Right, I've got this handy tool called BMW IMPA, which is used to be the dealer software for fault code tests and stuff. So I've hooked up to the car. You can see the error. So the stalk in that position and the indicator's on. Put it down, it goes off. So yeah, but what I've done is gone Shift F9 to find old models. Scroll down to E39. Body, light and check control module. Then you can read the error memory. And it's got this error stored in there. So turn light switch / wire short circuit to ground. So I'm guessing it's as simple as there's a short somewhere in the car's wiring, which is causing the indicator to come on. So I can verify that by, if I clear that fault code, so that's cleared, and then rescan it. Oh, it says no errors found, but if I replicate that, F1 read, yeah, and the error comes back. So in one sense, Canvas is great because it's telling me what the error is, which basically there's a short somewhere. I'm guessing a wire has corroded or worn through somewhere in the car, and it's a feed for the indicator, and rather than it being insulated and supplying power to here, it's actually earthing through the chassis, or along those lines, I think. Anyway, where I find that wire, I do not know. Yeah, so wish me luck. I guess I need to take the interior out, probably check under the seat, see if there's any moisture. The light control module when I got the car was dangling down here, so someone's obviously already been in here and had a fiddle. But yeah, so on that miserable point, that's probably where I'm going to end this quick video. But yeah, wish me luck. Hopefully I can find out where this earthing problem is. If not, well, then you'll see in another video where this goes, because I really don't want to scrap the thing. It's cool as hell, but it's testing my patience. Anyway, peace out, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.